Can everybody hear me? Yes, I don't think everybody can see me.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about why tribe matters. It's you guys have seen the shirts. Who here has seen me on Facebook? Who here has listened to the podcast? All right, so you guys pretty much know I don't hold back about anything. One of the things I strive to be is consistent. I'm never going to tell you what you necessarily want to hear, but I'm always going to tell you what you need to hear. But it's also worth noting that if people are outside of the wall of tribe, I don't care about them. Now that's something that's very tough to process, because nowadays it's popular, it's in vogue to show that we care about everybody. I'm going to use money as an example. Now, the way it used to be, right, let's not get into that whole thing, but the way it used to be, when you had a dollar bill, that dollar bill represented a piece of gold somewhere in a bank. And it was valuable, that piece of paper, that dollar bill, because it represented that piece of gold. And the gold was limited in supply. It was scarce. Gold is a precious metal, right? So if everything was gold, right, if everything was golden, the value of gold would be next to nothing. All right, somebody's got to bring that baby outside. The value of gold would be next to nothing if everything was golden. Well, similarly, if everybody is your brother, what is the value of saying that somebody's your brother? If everybody's your brother. If everyone's your wife, it doesn't take much imagination to finish that thought, right? So the whole thing is, we're very much in tune with, we very much respect the idea of scarcity, of exclusivity, the idea of a wall around a group that we treat differently. So my whole point of contention with the idea of tribe is not like, listen, we're too nice to people who don't matter to us. That's not it. It's the opposite perspective I choose to push amongst my students. It's when you do have somebody inside the wall with you, what are you doing that you don't do for everybody else? What are you doing for the person you consider your brother, your family member, your husband, your wife, your sister, your cousin, somebody that you would say that is inside your tribe? What do you do for them that you don't do for somebody who doesn't have that label, who doesn't have that significance to you? Well, too often times today, we're allowed to get away with just treating everybody the same. And this is the problem. Like, you know, it sounds nice to say we're all one. We're all one. But are we? Are we supposed to be? It's not the way we're wired biologically. It's not the way we handle ourselves financially. Right? It's not the way we're set up geographically. Right? It's not the way we live our lives culturally. So the problem is when we see a difference between ourselves and somebody who's outside of our tribe, that should serve first and foremost as a reminder that there are people who are in that wall with you. I used the example of Coach Angel, I don't think you were in the room, of being in Yonkers today and spending $50 on a cab here. One phone call, we would have had somebody pick them up. Because that's the value of being part of this group. And if you are in a group that you can't even pick somebody up from a mall who needs a ride, what kind of group are you in? So now we know, like I've always said, when you join the school, I don't say, listen, we're like a family. No, when you join the school, I don't even know who you are. When you first join, I don't even want to know who you are. And that's a tough pill to swallow for some people. But understand, the reason I act that way and I conduct myself that way is when you are inside my wall, I treat you like you are family. And if all I need for somebody to do is give me money to join my family, what's the value of my family? Now we know that there are circles, right? Concentric circles, right? In this school. We know that there's a core group of people. The people who work here, the senior belts, the people who have been here a long time. And we know that there are those of you who just joined or somewhere in between. But the one thing that everybody notices when they're here for any degree of time is that you do get into those smaller circles the more you invest in the tribe. The people who are inside that circle, I will give them anything. You need money? How much do you need? You need to borrow my car? Here are the keys. You need to live in my house? I will make room for you. Because that's how I treat the people that are close to me. But think about it. How many of you don't want people around? Don't want to lend people money? Don't want, like when I lend somebody money, I don't ever want it back. I don't ever want it back. But if you're not in that circle, I will never lend you a dime. So we say tribe matters because when we have tribe, we put ourselves in the position to be the best versions of ourselves. The benevolence, altruism, empathy, all of that care we have for other people is reserved for people who will take that energy from you and make it an investment. If you took your rent money and gave it to your brother who needed it to go to the doctor and heal himself, your brother will be there the rest of his life, your life, whichever one's shorter. But now what happens if you take that same money and you give it to somebody on the other side of the world in the same predicament who doesn't know who you are, who is not connected to you? There will be some people who will tell you it's just as valuable. And I will tell you, no, it's not. Because the only way we build up society is by remembering what family is, remembering what tribe is. But at no point can we lie to ourselves and say that everybody is in our tribe. Right? So I get a lot of flack for a whole bunch of things. But one of them is this notion that, there's a wall. Now, when I say that there are children dying in Africa right now, did you guys hear that? There's another child dying in Africa. Now think about how you want to feel bad right now, but don't. We're not responsible for that child. We don't know that child. That child is not connected to us in any meaningful way. But the other side of that token is that who are the people that are connected to you? Before you feel bad about somebody you've never met, nor will ever see, how bad are you feeling about the person who you consider family that's struggling, that needs help, that needs you to help them move, that needs you to help them get a job, that needs a ride somewhere, that needs somebody to talk to, that needs to go to a movie just to get out and clear their head? Before you start making faces and act like you actually give a damn about people you never meet in your life, how upset do you get over those people who are inside your tribe? So when I say tribe matters, it's not about keep all those other people out. It's about giving the people who are inside the wall a reason to stay in. Right? Thank you guys for listening.